This Corecon training video explores another feature in Corecon's leads and estimating. Once an estimate is completed, you can print an estimate proposal for the client, customer, or project owner, and there's also internal reports already available. To demonstrate this, I've already created a lead and an estimate. Click View Estimate. There are several ways to print both estimate proposals and internal log style reports. On the Estimate Cost Codes tab, we have Estimate Cost Codes, where the descriptions are customizable at the lead level. If we check the little box that says Show Internal Grouping, we can see again the Estimate Cost Codes, the Master Cost Codes from the division, and the major tiers. Notice that all cost codes are already numbered, and if you need to, you can also renumber them by selecting all and go to Global Changes. Estimate proposals can also be grouped, summed, or subtotaled by location. You can choose to show items at the estimate cost code level or the division or major in this case. You also have the ability to differentiate the allowances. So let's take a look at the detail report templates available for the proposal. Again, a proposal is intended to be used to convey your estimate or bid to your existing or prospective customer. You'll see that when we pull down the formats are set up by grouped or summed. Grouped means that you can show some level of detail, grouped together by cost code, and then subtotaled by cost code or division code or the major, minor, and so on. Summed means that the details will be rolled up into a subtotal. If you go down to the templates, most of the formats have at least one or more default templates. Many are summarized, some show with scope, others without scope, or with item pricing or without item pricing. You can also create your own custom estimate proposals using Microsoft Word as the report editor and then uploading them to Corecon's global settings so that they're available on the Select Template menu. Let's take a look at the estimate proposal grouped by estimate cost code, and let's take a look at the default. I have an option to include or exclude items with 0 values. I can print to Microsoft Word, PDF. I can save as Microsoft Word or PDF, and I also can email. Let's just take a look at this in PDF format. Again, the item details are grouped and subtotaled by the estimate cost code. The subtotals are at the top of each section. When I scroll to the bottom, the grand total at the bottom, and also notice that the unit prices are not showing. If I wanted to show unit pricing, I switch the template to default with item pricing and click OK. Now it's showing everything grouped by estimate cost code, subtotaled by estimate cost code, and the details below it. Your logo, of course, would appear here. Next, let's go to items summed by cost code, and notice that there is a default without scope, default without pricing, and default without pricing and scope. Let's take a look at the default and print to PDF. The scope always shows at the top of the proposal. In this case, you don't see the estimate cost item details, but you just see the subtotals by cost code. I could also select default without pricing. The estimate cost codes are showing, but no unit price and just a subtotal at the bottom. Another popular estimate proposal is the items grouped by division and cost code. In this case, the proposal is first grouped and subtotaled by the division code, and then grouped and subtotaled below that by the estimate cost code. So the division codes are in this black line, the estimate cost codes are in the dark gray. Corecon also provides log style reports. From the same tab, Estimate Summary, we're going to go to the log reports. But before we do, note that there is a summary and a dashboard already provided. But if you want to see paginated style log reports, click on that option. You'll see that you have the same phrases, summary and grouped. Item summary means that the subtotals by whichever classification you choose without the details. The estimate items grouped. Group means that the items will show and they're going to subtotal based on whichever classification you choose. Let's go to the estimate item summary. This paginated log style report shows by estimate and by lead all items. I can go to page 2. Next we'll go to estimate items grouped by cost code with cost and cell totals. I can choose to include markups or not to include markups at the top. This internal report is grouped by cost code, showing all the detailed estimate cost items, both cost and cell and the difference. Notice that you can also choose to group by location if you use those in the estimate. And there's also a log style report that incorporates labor productivity. If we go over to the cost code summary export tab, you can view similar log style reports on the screen and then export to Excel. You have the options to group items. Again, these are intended to be internal reports only. You have a group filter, meaning you can select specific cost codes. And you also have the ability to include several options. Let's do the unit rates and totals. Again, these are summarized by cost code, but I can go to the cost code grouping by division and retotal. I can do it by cost code and grouping. There's also one at the bottom where you can export the data into a spreadsheet that's already set up to re-import back into Corecon estimating. If you'd like to know more about this Corecon training video, we encourage you to go to help articles, to leads and projects, to estimates. This Estimate Resource Center includes the information from this training video as well as additional information that you'll find helpful.